Good morning, students. Today we will do the revision of lesson number 8, that is adaptations in animals. All of you know that animals are found all over the world. Some animals are found in hot places, some are found in cold places, some are found in high mountains, and some are found in deep oceans. And the natural surrounding where the animal lives is known as habitat. All of us know that the surrounding where an animal lives is known as its habitat. And the living conditions in different habitats are different. The animals living in a particular habitat have to adapt themselves to live in their habitat. For example, a polar bear doesn't survive in hot places because they have adapted themselves to live in cold places. So if we keep it in hot places, so the polar bear doesn't survive. Similarly, if we adapt ourselves to live in cold places, so we also found it difficult to survive in hot places. So as the living condition is different, the animals and human beings also in a particular habitat have to adapt themselves to live in their habitat. And it is found it very difficult to survive if we change our habitat. For animals, adaptation means having certain body parts or behavior that help them to survive and thrive in their surrounding. For animals, adaptation means the certain body parts or behaviors that help them to survive and thrive in their surrounding. Thrive means to grow without any difficulty. And it takes many years for animals to adapt themselves to their surrounding. Now, adaptations to habitat. Depending upon whether the animal live on water, land, and air, they possess various features which enable it to survive in its own habitat. And there are several types of habitat. First type are terrestrial animals, which are found in terrestrial habitat. So animals that live on land are called terrestrial animals. Those animals which live on land, for example, lion, tiger, horses, deer, cats, all these are terrestrial animals, and their body is suited to live on land. Accordingly, they show different adaptive features. Land animals breathe directly from the atmosphere, and so most of them have lungs. Terrestrial animals have lungs to breathe and for respiration, but the insects do not have lungs. They breathe with the help of air holes, and these air holes are known as spiracles, and these spiracles are present on their body surface. Land animals have well developed sense organs which keep them aware of the presence of danger around them. For example, lion has a very developed sense organ, and these sense organs help them to keep aware of the dangers around them. Now the next is animals in plains. Most animals which live on hard land surface like forest and grassland, they have strong legs to run fast, like tiger. Tiger have strong legs to run fast. This helps them to catch their prey or run away from their enemies, and these strong legs help them to catch their prey or run away from their enemies. Grass-eating animals like horses and cows have toes in the forms of hoofs. Grass-eating animals like horses and cows, they have toes, and these toes are in the form of hoops, and these help them to move on soft and wet land. Now the next are burrowing animals. Burrowing animals like rabbit and moles, they have sharp claws. This is a mole. They have sharp claws to dig the ground and make burrows. Snake lives in narrow holes. In ant hills, trees or holes made by other animals. They do not have legs. Snake do not have legs. They moved their body by pushing against the ground with their tough scales. They have the scales on their body. Now, next are animals in mountains. Animals like mountain goat and yak living in cold conditions of high mountains, because they live in mountains, so they adapt themselves to survive there. And they have a thick coat of hair which protect them against the severe cold. These thick coat of hair protect themselves against the severe cold. Mountain goats are sure-footed. They can run up vertical rocks and can sit on very narrow ledges. Mountain goats are sure-footed, so they can run up vertically in vertical rocks also and can sit on a very narrow ledges. Now the next type of animals are animals in desert. Camel is the best example of desert adaptation. It has a broad padded feet, and these broad padded feet help them to walk comfortably on sand. After eating food, the extra food and water changes to fat, and camel stored it in the camel's hump. This is the camel's hump. Then the camel can go on for many days without food and water. Camels have long, thick eyelashes. These long, thick eyelashes help them to keep them safe from the sand during the sandstorms, and they are also able to close their nose during a sandstorm. To beat the daytime heat, many desert animals such as desert rat come out in search of food only during the night time, because the daytime in desert places is very hot. So some animals stay inside their hole during the hot summer months, and some animals stay in their holes during the hot summer month without eating any food, and this long period of summer sleep is known as estivation. Now the next are animals in cold and snow-bound regions. So the snow leopard, which lives in snowy mountains of the Himalayas, has a thick coat on its body. Polar bear also have the thick white coat of hair on its body, which protect them from the cold. And the polar bear and the polar fox living in the ice-bound Arctic region also have thick white fur on their body. So the fur not only protect them from the severe cold, but also the white color of their thick white fur also make them less visible against the white background, because it is very difficult to recognize whether it is a snow or whether it is any wild animal. So this helps them to approach their food without being noticed. Animals like seal, walruses and penguins have a thick layer of fat called blubber, which keep their body warm in the cold, freezing condition. So like seal and penguin, they also have a thick layer of fat, and this thick layer of fat is known as a blubber, and this blubber keep their body warm in cold, freezing condition, because they also live in cold places. Most birds survive the winter by going to warmer places. There are several birds which survive the winter by going in warm places. In winter, they move to the warmer places, and this process is known as migration. They return to their original home when the winter is over. So during winter they move to the warmer places, and when the winter is over, so they return to their original homes. Frog, snake, lizard and many insects survive the winter by going into a long period. There are several insects like frog, snake, lizard which survive the winter by going into a long period of rest. They go into a long period of rest during winter, and they don't eat or drink anything during this period. They keep lying in a safe place like a cave, hole or burrow to save their energy, and this period of winter sleep is known as a hibernation. Now the next are arboreal animals, animals which spend a lot of time on trees. Those animals which spend their lot of time on trees are known as arboreal animals. For example, monkey. Their body is suited to live in trees, and they have a long and strong limbs with sharp claws which help them to climb the trees. And the monkey and the chameleon have a long tail to grip the branches. The tails also help the arboreal animal to balance their body. The next type of animals are aerial animals, animals that can fly in the air. Those animals which can fly in the air are known as aerial animals. For example, birds and bat, they fly in the air, so they are known as aerial animals. Birds have wings to fly with. Birds have wings which help them to fly, and they also have hollow bones which make their body light and help them to fly. And the birds have a very hollow and very light bones which help them make their body light and help them to fly. And we do not have a hollow and lightweight bones, that is why we are not able to fly. Bats are not birds, they are the mammals, and they do not have true wings. Birds are not birds, and they also do not have true wings, and their wings are made of the flaps of their skin. These wings are made of their skin. Many insects also have wings which help them to fly in the air, and many insects also have the wings to fly in the air, like mosquitoes, bees, honeybees, etc. Now the next type of animals are aquatic animals. Those animals that live in water are known as aquatic animals. For example, fish, crab, seal and seahorse. These are some of the animals that live in water. Fish have fins to swim with. Fish have fins which help them in swimming. Turtle, seal and dolphins have oar-like flippers to swim in water. And turtle, seals and dolphins have these oar-like flippers which help them to swim in water. Animals like fish, prawn and crab which live inside water have gills to breathe oxygen dissolved in water, and these aquatic animals have gills to breathe oxygen dissolved in water. Some aquatic animals like whales and dolphins breathe through lungs, but some animals like whales and dolphins they have the lungs to breathe in. So they come to the surface of water very often to breathe air. Water birds like duck and swans have webbed feet which help them to paddle in the water. Water birds like duck, swans, they are the birds, but they can also swim in water because they have the webbed feet which help them to paddle in water. Now the next is amphibians. Those animals which live both on water and in water and on land are known as amphibians. For example, frog can survive in water and on land also. Toads and salamander. These are some examples of the amphibians. And baby frogs are known as tadpoles. They grow in water and have gills for breathing. Adult frogs have lungs to breathe on land. Adult frogs have lungs to breathe on land. That is why they can survive on land also. They also breathe through their skin when in water, and they breathe through their skin when they are in water. In water, they breathe through their skin, and on land, they have the lungs to breathe. Frogs have webbed hind feet to swim in water. And they hop on land with their short forelegs and long hind legs. Frogs have the webbed hind feet to swim in water, and they hop on land with the help of their short forelegs and long hind legs. Now the next is the adaptation for food. Animals eat plants or other animals. Part of their body are adapted to find food and eat it. There are many animals which eat plants or other animals, and their body parts are adapted to find food and eat it. So the shape of their teeth depend on the food they eat. And on the basis of the food they eat, they are categorized into herbivore, carnivore, and omnivores. So herbivore animals are plant-eating animals like rabbit, cow, goat, giraffe, and elephant. They are known as herbivores because they eat only plant, and they are plant-eating animal. They have sharp front teeth to cut the grass, and they have the flight grinding teeth to grind leaves, seeds, and twigs. Giraffes have a long neck to reach the leaves of tall trees, and an elephant have a trunk to reach the leaves of the tall trees. So these cow, goat, deer, giraffe, rabbit are known as the herbivores. Now the next type of animals are carnivores. Carnivores are flesh-eating animals like lion, tiger, and foxes. They are known as carnivores because they eat only flesh of other animals. So they have sharp pointed teeth to tear the flesh and strong jaws to grip their prey. Their strong legs and claws help them to run fast and catch their prey. They have the strong legs and strong claws which help them to run fast and catch their prey. There are some carnivore birds also like eagles and hawks and owls. They have a very keen eyesight, very sharp eyesight to spot their prey from the sky also. And they have strong claws to hold their prey and sharp hooked beak to tear the flesh. Now the next are parasites. Parasites are small creatures which live on or inside the body of other animals, which survive or which feed on the other animals, and those other animals are known as host. So they depend on the host for their food, means they depend on other animals for their food, like tick, fleas, and some mosquito. They suck blood from the host, so they depend on other animals for their food. They suck the blood from the human beings and from other animals and feed on them. Worms like hookworm, tapeworm, and roundworms live inside the body of other animals. These worms live inside the body of other animals and take nutrition from them. So that is why they are known as parasites. Now, adapting to be safe. Some animals like grasshopper, toads, butterfly, leaf insect, stick insect, they hide from their enemies by having the body color or shape that blend with their surrounding. For example, the grasshopper, they have the same color like the leaf, which help them to escape them from their enemies. Same with toad, butterfly, leaf insects, and stick insects also. Similarly, many hunting animals like tiger and lion also hide themselves by having the body color or strips and spots on their body, and these help them to blend with their surrounding. So this kind of blending into the background is called as camouflage. They hide themselves into the background, and this process is known as camouflage. Some animals behave in a peculiar way to be safe from their enemies. Some animals behave in a different way to save from their enemies, like the porcupine puffs out the quills. Porcupine have these quills, and these quills easily come loose if anybody touched it and stick to the enemy's skin, and they cause a very painful wounds or infection. These are very painful. Similarly, a pangolin back is covered with overlapping scale. A pangolin has overlapping scales, and the pangolin tucks its head between its legs and roll itself like a ball. You can see here also. And when it senses danger, so it rolls itself into a ball. So this is how they prevent themselves. This is all about this chapter. Thank you and see you in the next video.